Hey traders, it's 56 minutes past 3 p.m. here in Brisbane on Friday, the 5th of April, and I want to do the March trade cut. So all those trades that either didn't eventuate or I'm still waiting, I want to explain what went on with those ones. So the first one that I want to start with is Aussie Swiss, and that was a fight card on the 5th of March. So let's take a look here on the daily. So the area that I was looking at is here. So what I like about the daily was the fact that we pushed here to that low, came back up, couldn't go any higher, and we actually started to have a couple of touches on this level. So this green line was supposed to be my offense line. So let's drill down into the 4 hours and just go back to that time. So we're sitting around here. Let's just zoom in into this price action. So we had this touch on the way up, pushed higher, came back down, made a lower high. And when I've done the video, we were actually sitting around here and we started to break. And I've mentioned that this is a situation when we're coming back from high, I need another touch, I need another compressions of price before I look for a potential break. So another scenario could have been a break and a pullback to see if I can take it on the way out. Now, as you can see, what we had here is rejection, basically saying we're starting to see some buyers coming in. We're starting to have a fight here. We had one pullback into that area, indecision, and a strong break above it. So this is the point of turn in this market. So it no longer looked like a potential high probability for a break lower, but actually it looks like the sellers are starting to lose momentum. So that is why it's really crucial to wait for that setup to eventuate. It's not just, hey, here's a line, let's see if I can take it. It needs to be of high probability. So that is why I was looking for another touch. And sometimes I'll miss that setup and it will go away without me. But this is one of those situations, one of those fights that if I hadn't waited for that confirmation of the move, I would have ended up with being knocked out. The next one was Kiwi Yen, and we were somewhere around here when I did the fight card. So this candle was still in formation, and I was looking for a break of this pink line. And if we'll take a look here on the 4 hours, just zoom in to get a bit more information, we can see that we also traveled from low. So I was waiting for another touch or a break and a retrace around that level, because as I mentioned before, I don't like it when we move from low down. I need to have a bit of compressions of price. Now, what price has done is actually broke above that level and did pull back to retrace into that area. So if we'll take a look here on this price action on the 1 hour, just to see how price behaved around that break. So if we'll have a look here, we can see that we pull back, but this was already in the middle of my night. So I missed that pullback. So I missed this entry into this fight. And as we can see, it continued into my points win and it got closer to the knockout, but it never reached the knockout area. Now, what price has done then is pull back into my level, and I got excited again. That was a strong and nice break. I was looking for it to come back in, show me signs that the buyers are returning into this market and looking for a break above that level again and a continuation. But the market never showed those signs. It just kept on going lower. We came back to that low of this range and we actually even went lower than that. So this fight, there was a potential area for me to strike. It wasn't the right time zone for me, unfortunately, and these things happen. The next one, and on the same fight card, was Kiwi CAD. So Kiwi CAD, we were sitting around here when I've done the fight card video. It continued lower and it looks like it was about to pull back. So just to remind you, I was looking for a pullback into this breakout level, but this market was very, very weak, and it just kept on going lower. So we went low quite a lot, and only now we started that pullback. So while I am keeping an eye on this area, especially if the pullback is going to be fast and strong, then I would keep an eye on this one to look for a reaction, but I will need to also reassess my points win and my knockout line. So with Kiwi card, it never pulled back, and this line is still waiting. So this was the NZD Shuffle fight card, and we also have the Index Strike fight card. So let's take a look, and I want to start with the FTSE on this one. So with the FTSE, I was looking for my offense line to be in and around this purple line, and we were sitting somewhere around here. So that was on the 26th of March. And as we can see, we didn't really continue this pullback, we continued higher. So I'm going to redraw my Fibonacci retracement here as well. So you can see that a pullback into this level is a bit more than that 61.8% retracement. But now we are currently in this process of pulling back. We can see that we had buyers around here. We can see that we were able to push the price higher but got rejected. So more sellers still sitting here at in and around that 8,000 round number. So I'm still looking for that pullback. I'm still keeping an eye on this market, and I want to see how we pull back into this level. I'm not going to just look to strike at the line. I want to see that buyers are indeed returning into this market, even if it's a bit of a deeper pullback. So really a pullback in the context of the weekly. So that could even go down somewhere around that 77.50. So this one is still at play. Lastly, we had the S&P 500. So let's take a look. So let's go down into the daily chart. So we can see also that this fib retracement needs to be updated. So let's just do it quickly. So we actually continued and pushed to another higher high. So now you can see this area is in and around the 50 to 61.8% retracement. Now from this high, so when I've done the fight card, we were sitting here, we started that pullback, but then we pushed to another higher high. Then we had a really sharp, strong pullback right there into my level. So on an intraday, so on a much lower time frame, there was something to do around that time. But for a swing trade, this was a quick reaction to that level. And as you can see, we couldn't go any higher. And yesterday, we even pushed lower below that level. So this is a nice deep pullback where we can see there's still sellers sitting around here. So what I'm still looking for is signs that the buyers are returning into this market. And I'd like to see some nice compressions of price underneath that level. I wouldn't want, because of this week over here, so I'm just going to put it on the 4 hours. We can see this touch and then the bounce here. We actually cleared this area as well. I don't want to see the market coming back, touch that level, and then roll over to the downside. So I need to see some better signs that the buyers are indeed returning. This is a worry for me, this touch, because I don't want it to turn into an area that the sellers are taking over. So if I see here a pullback, I probably would want to see a break in a retrace or something that says to me, whoever was sitting here, because these buyers got annihilated by the sellers that pushed the price to a lower low. So I do expect some sort of an argument around that area, but I don't want to be on the wrong side of that argument. So this fight card is also still open, and I am watching that level. Happy knockouts, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.